As we were all getting ready for the bed, my dad remembers feeling a burning sensation on his back. His back was covered with 3 distinct scratches, like a claw mark of 3 fingers. Oh my god, that's horrible!
Let me see. Is it the one what sits up?
Oh my god,
And it's
I feel sick.
Human.
I ran outside into the street. My friend wanted to come with me. I had to say no.
What? That's so rude!
You stay in your haunted house.
In your haunted house with the spirits.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Real Spooky Stories. Please try to tell your real spooky stories. If you'd like to share your story, please hit me on your real spooky stories.
I'm going to take a breath.
I was just seeing how you react.
Ow.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Real Spooky Stories. Please try to tell your real spooky stories. If you'd like to share your story, email me on realspookystoriespodcast@gmail.com or get in touch on any social media below. Amy's with us again today.
Hi everyone.
Right, so this is the Edinburgh episode. Right, so I won't lie, we were going to record this in Edinburgh and then didn't because
we were shattered every single day.
Yeah, we were just tired and then like there was just a lot to do. Amy booked a hotel that was 2 hours away.
It wasn't. You can book the hotel next time.
I will.
You can.
I gladly will.
You can pay for it then.
Okay, so I've got the Edinburgh stories. Yeah, we're on Edinburgh, I won't lie, but
we're in Edinburgh vibes.
We're in Edinburgh vibes, we're just not in Edinburgh itself.
We're back in England.
So I went on like the normal subreddits that I use, and I just literally typed Edinburgh to see if people had little stories in Edinburgh. We didn't have any really experiences, did we?
No, not really.
In like we done a ghost tour.
Yeah, when we went in the vault, not the vault, what's it called? Just underground. Is it called the vault? Yeah. And they said like you could feel, because obviously when the Edinburgh fires happened and all the people were locked in them, she said people can feel the heat. I was hot in it, but I thought I'm underground.
Yeah, I know, but I think that was like there was like 20 of us in the room, and then like the room was tiny, and it was hot. But like
I did feel the heat, like, but I don't know if it was ghost heat, like phantom heat, or
ghost heat.
I think I might have just been hot. So
I know,
but that was it, really.
And then we went like the graveyard and that, didn't we?
Yeah. And
then we didn't really have any ghosty experiences, but it's fine.
No, not really, except everyone walking past in the middle of the night on them creaky floorboards waking us up.
Yeah, I know, that was annoying. I felt like we were in a student property.
It wasn't. It was like apartments.
It did feel like studenty, I felt.
It did feel studenty, but it's not. She rented them all out, so you can book it next time. Stop going on about it.
I'm not, I'm just saying.
You mentioned it twice and we're 10 seconds in.
No, I meant like the noise of it felt like a student property.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I haven't got that many. The episode probably won't be that long, but you know, I just thought Edinburgh vibe since we're in Edinburgh. Anyway. Right, I'll go on the first one. So this is from the subreddit Ghost Stories. It is by the user Technical Writing 810. And it's titled
Pennies raining on me.
Pennies landing on.
Oh.
Pennies raining on me. No, just landing on.
Okay.
Not raining on.
Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm pretty new to all this stuff. I've just had some spooky stuff happening in my flat lately. I live in Edinburgh in Scotland and this flat is about 250 years old. Oh god.
Oh wow.
Which isn't unusual here. I don't know much about the history except it was part of a larger tenement block which was mostly destroyed during the Blitz. Well,
what's the Blitz?
I think like a war. No, a Blitz is like a war, isn't it? Like when the Blitz, like the planes and that.
Edinburgh.
It is. I think it's like a war.
Blitz, is it?
It must be, yeah. It was 250
Edinburgh
years
experienced
old.
bombing raids from World War II.
Yeah.
From October 1939 to 1942.
Anyway, I've lived in this flat for almost 2 years with no problems. Then about a month ago, I got up to go to the toilet, and when I was in the hallway, my bedroom door slammed shut behind me.
Oh.
I jumped but rationalised that it could have been a draft.
How drafty is it in your apartment?
I know. Then about 2 weeks ago, I was in the shower when a 2-pence piece, a large round coin, landed on my shoulder and fell into the bath.
So it was raining on him then if he was in the shower?
The only thing above me was the shower head and the ceiling. Then a few days ago, I was lying on top of my bed on my back texting when a £1 coin bounced off my chest. Again, the only thing above me, the ceiling. What the hell? Why are you getting pure pennies?
I've been made up, bit of money in my life.
I know, pounds and that.
I'd be like, can you do a £20 note next?
I found a psychic hotline on Google because I was spooked. She couldn't tell me anything about what it was except to burn sage and open the windows, which I have done. I didn't pay for that.
I know.
However, last night, a book from my bookshelf fell out of the shelf and onto the floor. It gave me such a scare.
What book was it? What page did it
I
fall
know,
on?
that's relevant information, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I do now. I should say I don't get a bad feeling. Like, I think whatever it is, it's okay. But it's freaking me out because it's, well, the unknown, I guess. Do I ignore it? Is it trying to tell me something? What do I do?
Oh, so what advice would you give him, Jade?
Someone's, but I think the ghost trying to tell you to take the pounds and the pennies to the bookies.
Fair point.
That's fair.
It is. I'd put it on.
Someone's put, wow, a few years back, some of my friends and I were messing around with Ouija boards and coins were thrown at us out of thin air as well.
What?
Why? Where's these ghosts getting coins?
Didn't they say that, in Alton Towers? Isn't that the rumour in? Is it Hex?
Oh, the dungeon
and
things,
they throw coins at you?
Isn't it just rocks, though?
No, I swear it was coins. Oh, I don't know. It might be rocks,
I hear a lot about pennies, so weird. I had a really bizarre experience years ago. What's the date on the coins and its significance to you? And what coins are they? Like, you said £1 coin. Do you reckon it's the new £1 coin? What's this written? It's written 2 years ago. The new £1 coin is in now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a few years now. Oh, I don't know. Comment on it and ask them.
It's 2 years ago. They're probably not even
not active on Reddit anymore. Yeah. Well, that's fun.
Someone else has put as well in the comments, this reminds me of a house my father renovated and weird stuff happens. He gets stereos turned on and off, blah, blah, blah. What he also experienced was coins being thrown to him as he left the house. Silver 3p pieces from the early part of the century.
What?
I have a feeling maybe they're coins put on some deceased's eyes and they're throwing money at you to leave.
Because, yeah, I've actually heard that because they used to put coins on people's eyes to keep their eyelids down, didn't they? Do you remember, on the beginning of Christmas?
I remember it.
I can't think of what the film's called, yeah. And, yeah, that's it, really. That's it, and they throw them at you to
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
And someone else put what you said. Look at the coins very closely, as well as the book and the page it lands on, obviously.
Yeah.
People,
is the coins something to do with the ferryman? Is that him as well?
Oh, I don't know. These coins are a bit much. Bit too much significance here. Well, I don't know.
I want to know what book fell off the shelf.
I know. They haven't replied back.
It's where it was just like Harry Potter. The Philosopher's Stone.
Edinburgh history, and they open it on like what this house used to be or something.
Oh my god, yeah, that would be good.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Okay.
This one is from Ghost Stories as well. It is by the user 12 Rushed. It is titled Evil Encounter at the Edinburgh Vaults.
Where we went. Is this the witchy one? Sorry, carry on.
I was in Edinburgh Vault and I felt hot. Listen, no,
it's me!
It doesn't say that.
Oh, Jade.
I'm going to sit back some people sitting like a weirdo.
By the way, if you can hear this, it's me straw. Like,
clanging.
Yeah. It's not someone clanging in the Edinburgh Vault.
Back in 2009, my family took a trip to Edinburgh during the summer holidays. We decided to go on an Edinburgh Vault tour one of the nights we were there. To give a bit of backstory, it was me, who was 7 at the time, my 2 older brothers, my mum and my dad. My dad, a retired policeman, is probably one of the biggest skeptics you'll ever come across, and the idea of anything ghostly or related to ghosts he'd just laugh off as nonsense. The Edinburgh Vaults are an underground maze of old vaults dating back to the late 1700s. They were made as a solution to the overpopulated city at the time. The poor made to live in these vaults as they had no other option. A lot of people fell ill here and died due to the damp, wet conditions. So the tour began and we descended down into the vaults. We began taking pictures and seeing if we could find any orbs. Nothing too out of the ordinary for the first half of the tour. The group, about 12 of us, gathered into the room named as Mr. Boots' room, which is said to be haunted by a dark, malevolent spirit. I've heard loads.
Is that the tall one?
I think I've heard.
And they say he's like the doorman.
I don't know. This is where it gets a bit weird. My dad distinctly remembers smelling one of the most foul smells he has ever come across in his life. He said it came to him in only one inhale and then it was gone. He even remembers his nose burning from this ghastly smell that only lingered for a few moments. Yeah. If I smelled something like that though, I'd just think it was something about in the vault. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, it's something. I'd just be like, it's something in here. Like,
yeah.
Not one other person in the room encountered the smell other than my dad. Bear in mind this vault was very small with no ceilings. After the tour, we went back to the hotel room. As we were all getting ready for the bed, my dad remembers feeling a burning sensation on his back. I remember my mum saying, oh my god, what happened to your back? To my dad. His back was covered with 3 distinct scratches, like a claw mark of 3 fingers. The scratch was about 8 inches long. Eee! We were all pretty alarmed, so what could have done this? By morning, the scratch was gone. Does anyone think it was a demonic encounter?
Could be, because as Ed Warren explains, if it comes in 3, it's mocking the Holy Trinity.
I know. And they've put as well, just to add, numerous people have also said to have been scratched in the Edinburgh Vault, some with 3 scratch marks.
Yes.
I've heard that too. That's the only comments. There is no more.
How long ago was that?
2 years as well.
Oh, I thought there'd be more comments.
No, that's it. Oh, yeah, you're scratched by a demon. That's end of.
Yeah. Mr. Boots was getting you.
That's it for that one. This one's like literally about 2 sentences long.
Okay, speak me out.
And this is just, it's not even, yeah, whatever. It's on Paranormal Encounters. It's by the user Super Startup. It is titled Sighting in Scotland. Don't know if this counts as paranormal, but once while I was driving from Manchester to Edinburgh, I saw a massive black bird fly over our car. The location was about half an hour away from Edinburgh. When I say massive, I mean as big as a huge lorry/truck.
It's Jeepers Creepers.
There was someone in the car with me too, and that person clearly saw it too. That was over 15 years back. I found the exact bird that I'd seen in Scotland on the subreddit Cryptozoology on the recommendation of someone. Just searched for a giant bird and it came up. Have added the picture in the comment below. Really freaky, as the bird is said to be extinct.
Let me see.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Let me see. Is it the one what sits up?
Oh my god,
and it's
I feel
like
sick.
Human. What the hell? Is that
That's a man next to it. Oh my god, I would vomit if I saw that.
Argentavis was a giant bird that went extinct millions of years ago. Oh my god, that's horrible.
Look at that. Oh, that's made me feel sick. Someone's put, it might not have been a bird, but something that took the form of a bird. They've put, it was easily a few times bigger than my car. There's a lot of research to see if such a huge bird even existed. It was like a prehistoric flying creature. Oh my god, that actually made me sick. I actually feel sick.
I thought it was going to be like it's not an eagle, is it? You know, the big massive ones, and they sit down and they look proper scary. And it looks like a man in a bird costume. I thought it was going to be one of them. I don't know what that's called, but...
They've put, just found it, blah, blah, blah. Someone's put, glad I'm from help, I'm from the UK. Thought it was an American thing, but guess it wouldn't take long to fly over. It's huge. Oh, that's insane.
Argentavis. Extinct genus of Titanorid, I can't say that. Known from 3 sites in the Epicurus and Andalhula formations in central and northwestern Argentina.
Someone else put, I live in the middle of nowhere, Arizona. I saw the same thing for a split second heading right towards me, about 20 feet up, then it was just gone. This was at dusk, easily 20-foot wingspan. First thing I thought was a thunderbird. Oh, and someone's put, when was this? They put 2024. What? That comment was 2024. When was this original one? Oh, this one says 15 years back. Oh, that's actually made me feel sick. Do you remember when me and Kate, with that, I've told you this. We went down by the lighthouse, and we literally were like, there was like a big bit, it weren't this big, like, but there was just a big bird, a big black thing flying over us, and it was like, I think it was getting a bit dark. Even listen.
Yeah.
Just researching about the bird.
Yeah, but I'm listening. It was getting dark.
It was getting a bit dark, and it was just a big black thing like flying towards us, and we were both like, "It's Jeepers Creepers," because it proper looked like. And then it got like over us, and it was literally a bird, but like it was so weird. And we literally still say now, do you remember when we saw Jeepers Creepers? Because it was,
maybe it was Argentavis.
I know. Oh, that's actually made me feel sick.
The wingspan is between 17 and 22 feet.
Oh my god, that's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it horrible?
It is, yeah. Or Pelagonus is 24 foot. Wow, that's horrible.
Oh god.
That's a bit spooky.
I know, that's actually like nightmare.
Put a picture of that on your TikTok so the people can see.
That's like nightmare fuel. Yeah, I will. I'll put the picture on. And I'll put it on Instagram as well. Okay, we'll go into the next story now. This is it's on the Ghost Stories subreddit. It's by the user Kirby Carissa. It is titled All My Paranormal Stories I've Had Over the Years. So this is like a big one, but when you get further down, I think it does mention Edinburgh.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, are you tired?
Yeah.
It all starts when I was a kid in 3rd grade, so I believe I was 7 or 8. When I was young, me and my friend would play with Ouija boards.
Oh.
Also, why do people say play with Ouija boards?
I know.
I would say use a Ouija board.
I've used the Ouija boards, yeah.
Not played with it.
I suppose though, when you're a kid, you are playing because you don't know it's like
playing with the dead, playing with your life.
Yeah, but you don't know when you're a child, do you?
Yeah, but everyone just says play with the Ouija boards, don't they? Anyway,
why have your families got Ouija boards though? That's what I want to know, because not being funny, in year 3 I wasn't allowed to go and buy stuff on my own, so I
didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
When I was 7, I probably did. Around the time my friend was having some weird experiences around her house, We were asking the board questions, who they are and how they died and so on. The board spelled out the name Vicky Pelletier and that they were murdered. I didn't tell my mum about what we were up to that night because she always warned me not to play with that toy. The next day I'm at home, my mum comes home for a minute. She was working the elections at that time, and she says, someone named Vicky Pelletier called for you last night. She seemed confused because she had no idea who it was, but we also didn't have time to talk because she left immediately.
Sorry, so she came in the house for a second and then left. Pop your head in, you'd had a phone call, bye.
Oh no, you had a phone call, Vicky Pelletier. Bye. Like, no.
Why was she in the house for like 1 second? I didn't get that.
Just says came home for a minute.
For what though?
Dunno.
I need more information, Care Baker, is that?
I know. I was stunned. I called my friend. We didn't have cell service where we lived, and this was before Facebook and MySpace. Her dad says she's sleeping. I must have called her 20 times that day. I was freaking out. She finally calls me and I ask if she had told anyone about what happened, and she says no.
What's the relevance that she was asleep? And like,
I don't know, I was just thinking it's like the day. I mean, you can sleep in the day, but I mean, like,
you always sleep in the day, yeah? But
yeah,
like,
because I start work early.
No. But like,
not when I'm 7 or 8.
Why is it relevant that a friend had strange going on at a house?
And that's
around
probably,
that time?
I think that just means like that's why they're doing the Ouija boards.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, or whatever. They're just playing with the Ouija boards.
Just playing with that great toy.
I end up telling my mum about the Ouija board, and she's pissed off at me. I told you not to play with those things. What time did you play with it at? I tell her it was around 9 p.m. She gasps and says that's what time she called. I asked what she said, and my mum said she asked for me. My mum says she's not home. Can I take a message? The lady says it's okay. I'll be seeing her later. We checked our call display, and there was all the other calls except that one. That was my first paranormal experience, which I believe led to a few other things happening in my life. What did she mean? Just see you later?
That's horrible.
Did you see her later?
I know. Maybe Vicky was just in the room and
I
she
guess
was
not.
asleep.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I guess not. I'll wait down.
Maybe she didn't see Vicky, but Vicky seen her.
Yeah, that's true. That's vile.
How was she murdered? I'm going to research her.
I can't remember how long after this happened. It could have been a few months or longer. I was again at my friend's house with the Ouija board. I was coming out of her bathroom. When I walk out, I stop because I see something in front of me. I look up and see the tallest man I've ever seen towering over me, looking me dead in the eye. He was wearing a hat and dressed in old clothing. He was white and transparent. You would start with that.
Yeah.
I think. I saw a white transparent man.
I saw a white transparent thing, so I looked and it was a man.
Just like that, he disappeared out of thin air. I ran through that section of the hallway where he was standing, and it was so cold. That scared the crap out of me. Why did you run through that section of the hallway anyway?
Maybe
I would
it was
not go in that section ever again.
Yeah, but if she just came out the bathroom, maybe that was the only way
yeah,
to leave the bathroom.
This one really scared me to the core. I was a little older, maybe 13 or 14. I was staying at my father's girlfriend's house. They lived in a really old house that was kind of in a rough state. It was right on the side of the Island Highway in Mill Bay. The house has since been torn down. I usually stayed in the basement with my dad's girlfriend's daughter, but this night she was at her dad's place. The basement has 0 windows, all cement walls. That's horrible. Don't
Haunting
like it.
in Connecticut, though, isn't it?
Yeah, bodies in the walls.
Literally.
Maybe.
Fingernails and eyelids.
I know. Always when I see basements, they just make me like where it's turned into rooms. They just seem weird.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't know, the vibe just feels weird all the time.
I always thought a haunting in Connecticut was bizarre when he was like, I'll take this room. Why are you buzzing? Why are you buzzing to be in the basement?
Because it's big, I think. It's a big area.
Yeah, but it's a basement and it's got walls up.
And
obviously, you know what happens in a haunting in Connecticut and what that room was used for, but like, why has it got walls up? That's what I'd be thinking.
Anyway. 3 different rooms. 3 different rooms, but the rooms were never finished being built, so there was just 2x4s where the walls would have been for the 2 bedrooms, separating from the whole downstairs living area.
Just like marks on the floor where the rooms would have been. But the walls were never put up.
So you could see the whole basement, except when the lights are off. It's pitch black down there. You can't see a thing. So when I was lying in bed trying to fall asleep, staring in pitch blackness, I see a light moving down the stairs into the basement. I was confused. I thought someone was holding a flashlight because it was a ball of light. But then I can see it come into the basement, and the way it was floating didn't make sense. Then this ball of light enters my bedroom, and my blood just runs cold. It's floating back and forth right at the end of my bed. I pull my covers over my head, and I'm just petrified. It felt like hours I was awake for. I finally calmed down and pulled the covers off, and I look up, and this fucking ball of light is hovering above my body.
Ew.
I pulled the covers over, and I'm just shaking and panicking, and don't know what to do. I was awake all night, heard my dad's girlfriend get up for work at 5 a.m. I go upstairs and tell her what I saw. She didn't look surprised. She said, "Oh yeah, there's spirits here. I see them walking around all the time." Well, that was news to me. I hate to come into the house. I never slept by myself there again.
She's so chill about it.
Know.
Like, yeah, there's
spirits here, by the way. That ball of light. Also,
why would you be telling a child that?
I know. This one is probably the most interesting and I think freaked me out the most. This one. I was 17. I used to be in Boy Scouts and we went to England and Scotland to take part in Jamboree. Jamboree? First of all, we went to Stonehenge, which is a very spiritual place. We used dowsing rods, and in some places around Stonehenge, our rods would just be spinning like crazy. I don't believe in dowsing rods.
I don't know.
Because you just hold them and literally the like plate, like the way your skin bends could just bend them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like if you literally just go like they move, like
I don't know. I've never used one.
It's just like a bloody Allen key.
I know.
But big.
It's like on Coraline. I just got
one. Just like a bloody Allen key, but big.
Big Allen key.
But that's not the really spiritual place we went. We went to one of the most haunted places in Scotland. We were walking around Edinburgh and came across a guy that was doing haunted tours, so our whole group went on it. The guy took us into a building that used to be a frat house. They said the lads that lived there felt the walls were hollow and decided to rip it down to discover a massive tunnel. Back in the day, it was illegal to be homeless, so a lot of the less fortunate lived in these tunnels built behind building and underground.
Oh.
With this brought a lot of murders, thieves, and other bad energies. We go up the stairs and into this tunnel. It's all cobblestone and smells like piss. There was 4 rooms on the right side, and then the tunnel turns right. We were not allowed past the point because really bad things happen to people. People had been physically hurt, so they didn't allow it anymore. The first room, we're not allowed to go inside because bad things happen to people in there. I peeked my head in there, and there was a lot of pentagrams and looked like things had been burned on them. The second room I have a picture of. There was a rock circle. They warned us not to go in.
It's the one. It's the one.
I've been in that one.
Yeah, that's the one where they were in the room with the rock circle, and then like bad things happened in there, so they moved to the room. It was the Coven of Witches, and the guy was the head of it. That's the one.
This must be the tour I did. You know,
literally it must be
the rock circle. The room where they said they ripped the thing down, and it was also a guy doing the tours.
Wow.
But it literally was a rock circle, and I remember he went, if you step inside the circle, like people get like a demon and they like get scratched.
Yeah.
And then he went, does anyone want to step in?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh. And I was thinking, shall I step in? But I didn't. Because
the guy who was in charge of the coven, basically, he like trapped the demon in the rocks or something, and he put a spell on it. I'll let me send you this video of exploring with Josh. And you need to watch it. I did this actual tour though. You need to watch it because he spends like the night in there. And at the beginning it was like a little room, and it was like a museum, and it had all like the torture weapons what they used to use and stuff. Yeah, that's Josh's one. But I think you're going. That's the first. I think that may be the first room, and then you go into the tunnels. Yeah. But yeah, literally, this must be the tour I did when I went. Everyone watched the Exploring with Josh video as well. The second room I have a picture of. There was a rock circle. They warned us not to go in because it caused people bad luck. A girl I knew decided she was going to go in. Oh. She ended up twisting her knee really bad later in the day and could barely walk. The next room they had asked girls to go on the right side and guys on the left. They said that people are being thrown to the ground by mysterious things for going on the wrong side of the room. So she put you on the wrong side intentionally. I know. So we just go on the wrong side. Yeah. You just go on the wrong side. That guy just wanted to abuse us. So yeah, I didn't want to mess with that. The last room was an old torture chamber. That's what you've just said. Yeah. Had different devices that would do horrible things to people. Yeah. I'm standing at the back of the group, no one's behind me. The closest person is in front of me and to my left, but not close to me at all. I'm standing there listening to the guy talk about the things that used to happen in these places. On my backpack there was elastics that crisscrossed and some of them were hanging off. I felt something pull on there and let go, and it snapped on the back of my legs. I turn around and look, no one's there. Then it happens again. I look around, nothing. Feeling a little confused, but not even thinking about what could be happening. Then I felt a really hard tug on my backpack. And then I gasped a bit that the girl closest to me noticed something was going on. She kept watching me after that until the guide said it was time to go. I'm the closest to the door, so I leave first and walk towards the entrance of the tunnel. The group stops and the guide is telling us some of the spirits people have experienced in this area. He mentions a few different people that frequent the area, and then he talks about the little boy who lost his mother. He would often go up to young girls and tug on their sweater looking for his mum. Didn't he say that in our tour? Little boy lost his mother? Yeah. Don't know. And it literally go up to women and pull on them. In the vault? Yeah. Can't remember that. Swear to God, that's what she says. At the time he was telling this, I felt another tug on my backpack and realised what was happening to me, and I freaked out. I ran out of there, down the stairs, into the street. No, you didn't do that because you're on a tour. Yeah. Crumbled to the ground and cried. The girl that was close to me was watching me. She claimed to be sensitive to spirits and she said she could feel the energy following me but didn't want to freak me out. Well, too late for that. Not being funny, but if the girl who was watching you felt energy of the spirits, why didn't you feel something tugging on your backpack before you gasped? Like, yeah, but she might have, that's what he's saying, like, she might have felt the energy of spirit but couldn't see a thing tugging on his backpack.
Well, too late for that. I'll include a picture of the group of us in the spot I ran to and cried.
Yeah, I want to see the way she cried.
I want to see you crying. Also, I would like to point out that on this tour, I was with my same friend that I played with the Ouija board with.
Oh, you two piss me off.
I love how you've still been friends after all these years.
I know, the Ouija board didn't divide. Just love that for you.
I know. My last experience, I was about 23. 10 years ago, my friend moved into a creepy house in Abbotsford. I had heard the area of the town possibly had some paranormal stories. My friend had told me some weird stuff was happening in the house. Weird noises, things moving, and the most recent one was that he woke up and there was a child's handprint in dirt on the ceiling above his bed.
That, I'd be gone. I'd be gone. On a ceiling? No. Gone.
He came to pick me up and brought me to his house to show me, and there was a second handprint which he claimed was not there 15 minutes earlier.
Filth.
We hung out there all night, just two of us. Nothing happened the entire night. It was about 3 a.m.
Of course it was.
It was about 3 a.m. and I say, okay, I'm going to go home now. As soon as I said that, we started hearing loud banging noises, as if someone was smashing their fists against the wall with a lot of force. It was coming down the hallway towards the living room where we were at the time. It was so loud and had so much force the windows were shaking.
I don't think it did. I don't think that was true.
I got the fuck out of there. I ran outside into the street. My friend wanted to come with me. I had to say no.
What? That's so rude.
You stay in your
haunted house with the spirits.
Your window's shaking.
I'm getting
you
off.
Stay. I didn't want to bring anything home with me. He ended up going to his mum's house. That was super scary. Oh my god.
Carissa, that's horrible. Do you know if any of my mates did that, I'd never speak to them again. I hope they're not your mates. I'm fuming. Carissa?
Since all these things have happened, it's made me super interested in the afterlife and the spirit realm. I've thought about trying to find some haunted places in Canada and seeing if anything happens since I've already had a few experiences. It terrifies me to the core, but it's super fascinating. If anyone has some recommendations, I'd love to hear. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will try and answer the best I can. Thanks for reading. They've put an edit. I'm so sorry I forgot to add the photos and now I don't know how to add it. If you want, you can message me. But the pictures weren't spectacular.
Oh.
I just thought it'd be cool to share them.
Sorry, I'm fuming.
There's only one comment as well, so they haven't actually added the photos.
Oh. I am fuming. She left a mate in the house. They wanted to come with you and you said no. That's horrible.
I know.
Imagine
if there was banging in your house on
a
house you bought with two handprints on the ceiling above your bed, one that appeared after
literally
you saw the first one. Then you were running out because there was banging and you went, no, stay. I'm going, you're not. Like,
you know, when we're watching like celebrity ghost experiences or something, and it's like there was stuff happening in my house, but I stayed in the house, and we always go, why didn't you stay with your mum and dad? Why didn't you stay with your mate? That's why, because your mates are little bitches and say no. That's so rude.
To be fair, I understand though, because I'd be like, you don't want to bring this with.
So you come to my house, when I get a house, you come to my house, and I'm like, Jade, there's a handprint on the ceiling, and another one appears, I'm like, that wasn't there before. And then you're like, right, I'm going, and then something starts going, doof, doof,
no, to be
doof.
fair, I wouldn't. I would say,
if I was like, Jade, gives a lift, I'm coming to yours.
Yeah, I would.
If you said no, I'd kill you, I'd steal your car and go myself.
But then if we got to mine and stuff happened, I'd be like, get out, because it's you.
That's fine. That's fine. But if it's like the actual house.
I just can picture them both running out and then they're like, no, you're not coming with me.
That's horrible.
Oh, Carissa.
I'm fuming. That's the worst thing about this episode.
Someone's commented, it's not good to mess with Ouija boards, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's silly
blah,
girl.
Blah, blah.
I think it's Carissa who's haunted because it just keeps happening around here, doesn't it?
I know. She's commented back, I agree, not a good thing to mess with. My mum had her head on straight when she advised against it. My friend's parents, however, I don't think they were believers. Whose parents buys an 8-year-old a Ouija board?
Well, thank you very much, because I said that before.
Was it her Ouija board then? Like, it was the kid's Ouija board.
A mate's Ouija board,
yeah. But like, it weren't like in their family house and like she used it, like it was her Ouija board.
Imagine if I went home when I was 8 going to my mum and dad's on a Ouija board, they'd be like, shut up.
You'd be like, yeah. Right, I think this is the last one now. It's on Paranormal Encounters. It is by the user Mythist. It is titled Edinburgh Encounter Underground.
Ooh.
It's not that long, it's only short. There are people who have visited Edinburgh Vault, right? I remember going to Scotland back in February 2019 or 18 because I always wanted to visit Scotland. I spent days outside experiencing the world, but that's not what you are here for.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what day it was when I left to go out, but we went to find a group of people who were hanging around in front of a statue. It turns out my cousin and my mother walked past them the first time for silly reasons. What? What's going on?
What?
Once we were able to locate them, the person who was facing the group, telling the history of the place and the ghost experiences that occur, let's just call her Lisa the tour guide. The group eventually went further down the street while Lisa continued the stories. I wasn't really thinking of anything, to be honest. What was about to happen once we all got down there furthered my belief in the paranormal. I'm going to skip further due to my hazy memory, There are parts I found quite boring. Walking and talking.
I'm not having this because already they're telling me they're an unreliable narrator.
This is a person who goes on a ghost tour and goes on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
The whole time.
I'm not having this hazy memory, unreliable narrator.
Blah, blah. It got interesting when someone let us go in the underground vault. We all walked down a stone spiral staircase descending into the underground unknown.
You said staircase.
Spiral staircase descending into the underground unknown. It was dark and dimly lit by candles. Anyway, after telling the story of an individual ghost that lurks in its walls, we were all in a big spacious room and obviously no doors except for the entrance above and exit. Also to note, my mother and my cousin were the only ones who were behind the group. Everyone was facing forwards. At this point, I had a bad feeling. It's hard to put into words. I looked behind to check if the ghost was clear.
The coast?
The ghost? I looked behind to check if the ghost was clear, ironically. It must meant to say
coast was clear.
I saw a light female figure wandering. I blinked twice to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. I managed to get my mother's attention to look behind to see the same figure. I wanted her to see what I was seeing. She saw it too with her own eyes and thought it was weird. It was very real. I'm a brutally honest person and say what I want to say. I wasn't scared by the experience, just weirded out. I've had a few experiences with the paranormal. I've never questioned it. I hope one day we can advance technologically so we can confirm the existence of these people and get better understanding of it all.
Okay.
This sounds like a weird guy.
No, I don't believe him.
Someone's commented, I visited the vault and was hit by someone / something as it rushed past me. It was like a huge energy force. The only way I can explain it, it's actually barged me. I'd love to go there again and see what else I can pick up.
Oh.
Not happen for us.
No.
I wanted to.
But I feel like if we went in the one with the rooms and the pentagram, I don't know why I went
the pentagram.
I think the ghost of Edinburgh
on that one as well. We went into this. It was like an underground vault, obviously, but it was dead big. Like the ceilings were tall,
dead tall,
and like he was like, everyone turn your torches off, and there was no light in there, and it was pitch black. And I mean, you could put your hands in your face and you couldn't see it. Like it was so dark, and it was proper scary because you're like in the middle of the room in a circle, but then like nothing's behind you.
No, I don't like that.
I know, so you like, and then he was like telling us stuff, and he told us a story about whatever. And,
in the pitch black?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think he put his one on to tell us stuff and that. And then he said like there was a little girl who was on a tour once, and she said to her dad, I want to go in the other room. And then like there was another room behind it, but you couldn't see because we were in the dark.
Yeah. But
she knew it was there because someone wanted to go in there or something. And then he went to something else. You didn't want to be in this room. And then he went, the last one out, bye. And then he just turned his thing off and walked out, and we were all like, trying to get out. That was funny. Yeah, that was the last one.
Oh,
we've done 5, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so.
That was the last one.
Oh, that was nice.
I wish we had like something, or like someone on our tour had a little experience or something.
We'll go back. Well, our tour guide said she had the little girl who followed her around.
Yeah, I think that was just
in the graveyard.
Here though, not
called Elizabeth.
Not like Edinburgh vibe. I think that was just like hair vibe.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go back and we'll do another tour.
And we'll come back with some...
and we go in the rock circle.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of that rock circle, actually.
I think we should
I've got one from when I
have you? Cute.
Yeah. It's actually just a little room with rock circle.
I know.
I've
seen it.
But yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Yeah, we're not actually in Edinburgh, but it's still Edinburgh vibes. I'm feeling Edinburgh again.
Me too. We're going to plan to go again.
We may as well just go again.
Like, we will return.
Now. Yeah.
Right now.
We will return, and then we will actually do an episode in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
If we're not too tired. Well, we'll have a closer Airbnb this time.
Oh my god. Shut up.
No, I'm joking. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. Thank you, Amy, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And I will see you next Sunday at 12 p.m. Goodbye.
Bye.